Alright, what's going on, guys? Brian here, bringing you guys another live stream. Today we are doing something a little different, and we are going to be talking about Thursday Night Football. We're going to get this going here. We're just going to do very quick. This is just going to be a little background thing, that way you guys can at least, just see some random stuff. We'll just do that. Sure, why not? Is Chiefs Stadium? Sure, why not? All that stuff is all good. So, with everything that's been going on in this offseason, um, obviously football is taking the chance and going to be trying to hopefully do everything in its power to keep going and go through their season and stuff. I hope, the NFL doesn't get canceled. I've been waiting for this. It's just been, with everything going on, it's been rough. And I think it's actually been a little under the radar. Like, it's been hype, but at the same time, it's just like so many people are holding or like not doing anything or something like that. That it's gonna be really weird to really watch it. There are no fans, all that stuff, all the audio pumped into the stadium. There's a lot of factors that are going into this game, just like outside of the players' perspective of it. Just the environment and everything is going to be totally different this year. But let's get into just I guess a total recap of, or like preview of this game and how I think it's going to go down, some key factors, everything like that, for both teams in order for them to win. And I'll give you guys my final prediction of who's going to win, score, and we're going to try making this more of a just like every game kind of thing. We'll do one for like every Sunday game, everything like that. So, if if you guys enjoy all this stuff, it'd mean a lot if you guys hit that subscribe button, like, comment, all that good stuff. Especially feedback. This is my first time like really doing this. We normally do it on the Super Bowl, like a preview thing. But anyway, let's get into it. So Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, Patrick Mahomes, dynamic offense. We all know that story. The biggest question really is like, I think everyone knows the answer to it. We just want to see what's going to happen. Is if this offense is going to be as dynamic as it's always been. And I think that's obvious. Like, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mahomes himself. Like, I think if you were to say they weren't going to be dynamic, like, you would need a very, very, like, almost non-existent argument of why they wouldn't be able to be as dynamic. I mean, nothing really changed to the point where it'd be like, yeah, Mahomes isn't good anymore. Like, there's nothing like logically to say that the Chiefs won't be dynamic offensively. Defensively, we still gotta wait to see how pieces all came together and stuff. But honestly, I feel like this is just going to be an like Chiefs are just going to be running up the scoreboard. I think instead of running the ball, they're going to like kind of just show like, look, despite not a lot of fans or anything like that being involved and everything like that, like they're just going to be throwing this football like day and night, in and out, whatever, they're going to be lighting up the scoreboard. I think it's as simple as that. You got Tyreek Hill on the outside. He's just going to burn everybody. And then Travis Kelce's just a mismatch for everybody. And I think the number one thing Chiefs have to do to win this game is really just, I think, score as fast as possible. I honestly think they are, like, you don't want to just give, or like, you don't want to just give the Texans an opportunity to like bleed the clock. You just want to score, and then they're just like, all right, we're not playing from behind, so we have to still score. Like if Chiefs just kind of take their time, I think Deshaun Watson and stuff, you know, yeah, it's been a crazy offseason. He has some different pieces, David Johnson, Randall Cobb, Cooks that might play, might not. Not really sure. You have, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore. You have different pieces there. The longer they're on the field together, the faster or like better chemistry they're gonna have. So, if they come out of the gate and like get a touchdown like instantly, like it's not. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Deshaun Watson and that whole offense group to get going. On the flip side, Texans, J.J. Watt. Like, I think J.J. Watt is like the key factor for the Texans. If he plays unbelievably, and honestly, sad to say, unbelievably means like probably a few forced fumbles, multiple sacks. Like he's gonna have to have like one of those career games, and JJ Watt already has like a unbelievable like resume when it comes to his career, but he's gonna have to make one of those. What did you think about the zombie teaser? I was gonna get with that on the Call of Duty stream. We are gonna be doing that after. We're gonna do a Shangri-La challenge after this. But I will answer that on that stream. We are going to be talking about that. But, or actually, we're probably just going to just talk about that, to be honest. But we'll get to that in probably maybe an hour, depending on how deep I get into this. But yeah, I think J.J. Watt's going to need one of those big games that interceptions, forced fumbles, just like unbelievable game for the Texans to even have a chance to win this. Like I feel like a lot of people, Deshaun Watson gets his contract, everything like that, and it's just like, okay, you were also like Deshaun Watson was paired up with arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL with Deshaun Watson or DeAndre Hopkins. So it's kind of one of those arguments like, okay, was DeAndre Hopkins making Deshaun Watson unbelievably good? I mean, you throw it to a guy that doesn't drop a ball, and I think he makes anybody look good, So it's kind of that argument like, okay, will Deshaun Watson still put up the numbers and stuff? And you talk about Randall Cobb, Kenny Stills, you have David Johnson, which when healthy is a pretty solid performer. Like overall, as long as he stays healthy and he was one of the better running backs in the NFL. Like when Arizona had what's his name? Not I was gonna say Kurt Warner, not him. That's too old. Carson Palmer, when Cardinals were on that good streak with David Johnson, he was one of the top running backs. So if David Johnson can, I guess provide especially in the passing game for Deshaun Watson, I think that would be huge for the Texans. But I guess we'll start with Texans offense now. So, like I said, Texans defense is all J.J. Watt. I think he has to have one of those career highs in everything, sacks, just to have a chance to win this. Now Texans, I think, they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They have to utilize David Johnson. I think David Johnson's one of those guys that could put the team on his back, I think. And I think if they rely on him and he like I said stays healthy, is in that same condition as he was in his prime and stuff like that. No, he's still young, but if they can just hand it off to him and he can bleed this clock, and he was a good running back, so bleeding the clock but still getting touchdowns, is what the Texans need. The Texans will lose a shootout. They will. Chiefs just have too many options. Like Patrick Mahomes just has too good of an arm. Like the accuracy, Tyreek Hill can run and go get the ball. Kelsey can jump to get the ball. So if this turns out to be like, oh, I need a Hail Mary, like if Chiefs need a Hail Mary to win this, like in like a shootout or something, Chiefs are gonna win. Texans, yeah, they have like little pieces, but they got rid of their best. As I say this, Watson kind of runs away, but I think the Texans need to have like a complete game. Like Texans are going like offensively are going to have to play a perfect game for them to win this. If they make a mistake, Chiefs can run away with this in the first quarter. We've seen it before. Patrick Mahomes can light up a scoreboard first, like in one quarter, in 2 quarters, he can triple his score, and then by third quarter, you're talking, you're up in the 50s. Like he's one of those like the Chiefs are one of those teams that you cannot make those mistakes because on the flip side, like if you make a mistake against their defense, their offense is just going to score right away. So their Texans are going to have to play a near perfect game for them to stand a chance here. Which is why I think they do just rely on David Johnson. Run that clock out. Deshaun Watson do what he can. Like I said, it's a lot of those. Okay, will he produce even though he doesn't have that top? I mean, worst case top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. So he doesn't have that anymore. How where will his numbers line up? He just got paid. It's just kind of okay. Where are you gonna be at now? Watson. He could still be performing at where he was, where he deserved this money, or he could kind of be like a Jay Cutler, paid for no reason. And you don't want to think that way, but quarterbacks are sometimes up and down, and this game is gonna prove I think a lot. With him and with how the Texans are going to be as a whole. Chiefs, I think we already know what the Chiefs are. It's if anything, it's who's going to stop the Chiefs. And based off just saying this, I mean, just named like J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson, David Johnson, Randall Cobb, Cooks, Kenny Stills, like those are some decent names. And to think they don't stack up to the Chiefs is kind of just like showing you how good the Chiefs really are. So, like I said, Watson can't make mistakes, and I feel like without DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to be relied on more. I think some of these guys that they have, like, yeah, they're good, but they're Randall Cobb, I always thought of him as a second string, or a secondary, a number 2 receiver. When he was on the Packers or whatever, and when Jordy Nelson was still there and he got hurt and he had to take the number 1 spot and he just got locked down, that very first game that he was just locked down in, it was okay, are you a number 1 or we were expecting you to take that role and you didn't do it, so will he be able to fill the role DeAndre Hopkins, kind of left this team with? Brandon Cooks probably could, but I'm not sure. I was looking into it, said that he may or may not. I may have missed his name, but I mean, either way, you have a solid team, but it's really gonna be clock management on the Texans' part, and Deshaun Watson having a perfect game, and then J.J. Watt having a crazy game. Like I said, just to have keep them in the game, they're gonna need to do that. Now, let's put this in the scenario though. So, say it's a shootout, right? So Chiefs could probably score in probably 3 plays. Probably like a deep middle route to Kelsey because he burned a linebacker. Tyreek Hill down the outside and like a quick slant down the middle for like a touchdown. To probably Tyreek Hill because he just speeds past everybody. So you have that scenario, and then you give it to Watson that he can run, he can pass and all that, but you I think have that mindset of, okay, we have to do clock management too. So now you're taking like a lot of time off, but you might not be scoring because you are running more. You might get stopped for only 2 yard gain instead of like a throw, like passing it for like you know 5 yards or something. So you're taking away some yards that your offense could have just for clock management. So instead of some touchdowns, you might be trading it with some field goals. And Chiefs aren't a team that you could beat with field goals. So that's what I mean. It's gonna be really rough for the Texans to like stay in this game and have a chance to winning it. It might, Chiefs might make mistakes too. I'm not going to say they're not going to, um, make mistakes. Not saying they're not going to score touchdowns. They might kick some field goals. I'm not saying like Chiefs are literally just going to get the ball and just touchdown to add like every 2 seconds. Um, but at the same time, they're a team that could do that if you give them the chance to. So, like, kind of how I see this game playing out is Chiefs are probably going to score at least 28 points. Okay. Now, honestly, I think the first quarter, I think it's going to look pretty rough. I think Watson's going to be a little shaky, just because there's some new faces. He doesn't have his number one like star wide receiver anymore. It's going to be a lot of like testing. It was a weird off season. There's going to be a lot of things like, penalties are probably going to be pretty high this game, which again, Texans can't afford the mistakes. That's the biggest thing Chiefs do have is they have a lot of returning cast on that offensive side that, they get these big plays. They're not going to be called back because of holding or false start or something like that. So Chiefs play smart football. Texans, they have some new pieces that could interfere with them playing that smart football, you know? Um, but I do see J.J. Watt stepping up, though. I do. So I think, if anything, I think the Chiefs will be held scoreless either the first quarter or the, like, third. Like, mid-third quarter, I'm going to say. Like, they're going to have like, J.J. Watt's going to step up, like, right away, or, like, for a brief point where Texans might be able to get back in this game. By the fourth quarter, I kind of predict like a 28-21 game. I think Texans, I think are going to be rough though. I think Texans are going to play a rough game, but they're going to still be in it. Okay, so I don't think this is going to be a blowout, but it's going like Chiefs are going to play a cleaner game for what the scoreboard is going to show. You know, so by fourth quarter, I think it's going to come down to like a third, or I'm going to say it's 35 to. I'm going to say 35-24. And then Texans are going to kick another field goal late in the game to make it 35-27. And then that's they're gonna try an onside kick. They're not gonna get it. Chiefs are gonna win. So my final prediction of this game is 35-27 Chiefs. And there we go. That's my final prediction. 35-27, Chiefs winning. Like I said, I think that score is not going to indicate how the game actually was. I think overall Chiefs are going to have a great game. They're not gonna have too many they're not gonna have too many bumps or anything like that. I think they're gonna play more of a smoother game, as they've kind of always done. Texans, I think, are going to start off a little rough, but have help from J.J. Watt's performance to kind of keep them in the game to where they can get away with some of these field goals to keep them in the game. But ultimately, scoring 3 touchdowns and, getting 2 field goals based off my prediction, I don't think is going to cut it. I think if they can somehow, instead of having that last, instead of settling for a field goal, if they get a touchdown, it could be a closer game. But I think the Texans might have a few, I think they have a solid team to where they can stay in the game. But Chiefs, I think, are going to be more relaxed, poised. They're not going to, if Texans want to shoot out, Chiefs will win it. And so I think the Texans are going to try toning it back. J.J. Watt's he knows it's going to be a big game. So that's my final thoughts. We have 14 seconds left of this, and that sounds about right. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What you guys want to see from me. I do zombies and stuff like that, but kind of want to get into kind of talking about the NFL a lot more, especially as the season goes on. We'll more than likely talk about Thursday Night Football, like a little recap video, and see kind of like where I was, how I did on this, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button too if you are new. We do a few different things on this channel and want to implement more things on this channel. But we have 5 more seconds. This game literally won't end. That's kind of weird. I just kind of want to have some gameplay in the background, but what? Let me know what you guys think. And before the game starts, if you guys have any predictions of your own, we are going to also be kind of keeping track of how good or how bad we are at predicting stuff. And if we actually get a score right, give myself a little pat on the back there. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys all next time.